Our program is a full immersion program, like Captain Repka said. When you get there, you have an orientation, and within that first day or two, you're steering the ship, you're standing lookout, you're hauling on the lines, you're going aloft, you're doing everything the professional crew does, because on Niagara, we can't sail the ship without you, period. We cannot sail the ship without the help of the trainees and the people that are on board. The professional crew is not big enough, and everything we do on board requires lots and lots and lots of people. So one of the beautiful things about sailing on Niagara is you become part of the crew completely. You can ask these guys here. Once you sail with us, you're always a part of Niagara's crew. And that, like Dr. Bennington said earlier, it is completely overwhelming on that first day, 100%. And the first night you sleep on board, we don't sleep. Period. So you don't. Most of you guys sleep in the first night?
No.
Okay. And then by the second night, you sleep a few hours. And by the third night, you're unconscious. You might fall asleep right in the sole, right in the floor. You might even get into your hammock at all. So, but then once you get through that first couple of days, what we're saying makes sense. At least some of it does. And then after a few more days, you know where to go. You know which lines to pull on and what maneuver is happening next. And by the end of that first week and second week, you've become a useful member of the crew, and you're going around and doing all the work that we do. And it's a pretty amazing feeling to become part of that and to be aloft, putting a reef in the topsail, and knowing that you're up there because you know what's going on. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely everything you guys have touched upon was true, and for me, it meant that I was completely humbled by the first couple of days. Like, absolutely had no idea what was going on. I've never sailed on any kind of ship in my entire life, so it was an opportunity to be able to do something that I've never, ever even thought about doing before, and to be completely stripped down, and you don't know anything, so you're relying completely on other people to help you learn and do things, which the crew is fantastic at doing, which was one of the things that I love most about it, is there's always someone who's willing to help you and tell you and teach you something. So rather than just telling you what to do, they're telling you why you're doing it and what it's doing. And because you're completely humbled at the very beginning, once you finally start to understand things, it's such a huge sense of accomplishment that, I mean, I've never felt that way doing anything else, like in school or outside of school, because you finally understand something that's making this shit move. I don't know how to explain it. It's a really, really awesome sense of accomplishment.
With the crew, I always felt bad asking them to help me do something, because I probably already asked them 90%, like 90 times, but they were always willing to help, and they wanted to make you learn. So if you asked, what line do I pull on? They're like, well, look up. What does it connect to? What does it pull up? Like, they were amazing. They're so patient, because if you don't do it right, someone can get hurt, And the thing was, the shipmate yourself, and that's very true. And they live by it too. So they want to help you. They want you to learn as quick as possible. So, like Billy was saying, you're a part of the crew. I mean, your intelligence, I guess, I can't think of a better word, about the ship, in fact, affects them as well as
school, you don't really get to the point where you don't want to ask more questions, because there's just infinite amount of information you can learn about the ship, and you find yourself in a watch, and you've worked for 4 or 6 hours straight, and you are dog tired, but rest assured, when your shift is over, you'll probably be up with the next watch, asking questions to members of the crew that are off watch, and saying, what does this line do? What does this do? You're exhausted, but you know that it's going to help you in the end. I think we've all done that. You're tired. We just came from an all-hands watch, and then we just went to a lecture, and we've been sailing all day. And before it gets dark, we're all learning our lines, and even after it gets dark, we're still learning our lines, no matter how tired we are.
And what's really neat is, you can study history in a classroom, but you don't get the same experience as living history. And in this experience, you get to live the way that they did in history in the 1812. really neat.
Not true for a lot of other ships. Tall Ships Erie was up in Erie a few weeks ago, and it was a big surprise to me that the Niagara was the only ship that really, really stressed keeping it period accurate. The Bounty, the HMS Bounty, which was in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean, had some really nice luxuries that you would think would be nice, but after 3 weeks on the Niagara, you're like, whoa, stove? Bed? What is this? It's so cushioned. The Niagara really is period accurate. A wood stove they cook on the whole time. You sleep in your hammock, and you think it might be uncomfortable, but to this day I miss my hammock. I would take that hammock over a bed any day.
And a lot of people will say that. I know people that have actually, after sailing us for an entire summer, when they're leaving, they're asking for canvas to try and make themselves a hammock to bring home with them, and then they'll string it up in their dorm room. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, you guys, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you pick a hammock over your bed? But, and it's interesting, your hammock becomes your personal space.
Yeah, and it's not much.
No, it isn't. I mean, it isn't at all. But when you get into that hammock and you're lying there, that's when you can shut everything else out until someone comes and grabs you and says you're on watch.
Yeah.
Speaking of personal space, there is no privacy or personal space on the ship. And sleeping in the hammocks at night, you're crammed in the berth deck with tons of other hammocks. Like his hammock was this far away from my hammock. But when you're in your hammock, you don't realize how close it is. Like you're just completely just enclosed and doesn't matter.
Not having that privacy, it helps with the experience of being on the ship. Because what happens is when you can just go to your bunk, close your curtain, or go into your cabin and close the door, or whatever it is, you're not with everybody anymore. And you have that ability to just disappear. Here, you're part of this community, whether you want to be or not, 24 hours a day. And because of that, the camaraderie that you get out of being part of a crew like this is hugely enhanced.